This is the room for my Lego train layout. No other room in my apartment makes sense. I've always lived in apartments since leaving my parents' houses. So you'll note that it's got windows all over everywhere. So the traditional way of building a Lego train layout, or any train layout for that matter, of around the edges of the room, simply isn't going to work for me. So I built a U-shaped layout in the space that I had available. Part of what I needed to put in was the wooden transfer table that our Lego group has had for a while as built by one of our members. The reason I need that, of course, is because that's how I can store a lot of trains. Okay, so some constraints were there. Now, at that point I got too ambitious. I chose to have 3 different loops that I could run trains on all the time. There's one down there that I call Mod City because it was going to be filled with Lego modular sets, or they're town-like sets. Up top there, on top of the transfer table, I was going to be building a Winter City, which was going to use the Lego Winter Village sets. They're a Christmas style set. I started doing that. The problem is that they are what I would call doll houses. They have no back on them. I started putting a back on one of them. It was not fun. It looked awful. There were 10 more to go. So I said, okay, changing my mind. So the Winter Village was going to go away, even though there's all the snow back there on the mountains. And I put in my British row houses that I had built for train shows years ago, added a RV park at the end. But stuff still had to be done with the snow stuff. Now, problems I had. I've been working away on the scenery down here, and what I ended up with is that inside this tunnel there are a couple of cars that I have that hit when they go in there. I have already spent many hours rebuilding it to make other stuff fit, but it needed more. And then I ran into the fact that when I run one of my locos onto this branch here, it hits the dark tan, no, not dark tan, that's what, dark flesh or whatever it is, wall. So a lot of annoyances. Spend a lot of time doing the greenery around here, and a coyote up on the edge. This is my rocket booster factory that I built many, many years ago. But when it was built, it was designed to go in a different configuration. The engine shed was supposed to be over there, but with that kind of orientation, it is a very long setup, and it wouldn't fit anywhere on the layout with the loops. In particular, the loading docks down there were supposed to be visible, not out back of it. And the trackage that I had to put in is not what it was originally designed to be. And in fact, you'll notice back here, big crack in the track there, a smaller one over there. When I try to do switching in here, as has been seen on some of my earlier videos, you get a lot of derails. This double level stuff out here ended up that way because in order to put my Mod City on this loop, I had to get some more space. And the only way I could figure out to do that was to have the tracks stacked. And that led to a lot of nuisance as well. The entire concept of having hills in the layout is a problem. Lego trains really don't like to do that on continuous running with a decent train. The Mod City loop here, that might have worked for. The idea behind it was that down here was going to be a subway station. I couldn't get it any lower than that and still have the hill be reasonable. And of course it had to meet up with the other track over there. And it led to all of these sidings being raised in various places. And I did get the opportunity to put a couple of bridges in, which was fine. Although I would like to make this bridge a little bit longer. It looks a little bit weird to me at that length. And here was coal mine and gravel pit and coal mine. And I forget what was going up there now. Petroleum around the back there. You can see the tank car just sticking out a little bit there. Yeah, there's the tank. And over on the other side we have, basically this was going to be a warehouse. That's why there's the two parallel tracks here. And over there was going to be a very tiny intermodal yard, and for my stock cars, a little stockyard. So that was the intent. But, as I've just been saying, there's a lot of problems. So, I'm going to tear it all down and start designing a new one. Before that, however, I'd like to just run some trains around again. Okay, there we go. 3 trains running at the same time. Does work. Got to be careful. The train I've got going up top here is somewhat appropriate to the old winter village concept. And I also made it short enough that it could actually get up the steep climb to the top area. Now, where is that? That's around here. And up. The nice BNSF going around the outside. Don't want to be too ambitious on that because of the hills. That little one's not bad. But when it gets around here, here she comes. Have to have enough speed on it to get up this hill. And it's corners. And then of course, when it gets over here, it's downhill. So we want to be not going too fast as we go down there. And somewhat similar for the little mod city suburban train or light rail transit or whatever it is. It has to not go too fast going down there, but it has to be fast enough that it gets up the hill. Okay, goodbye train layout. Never did build a big warehouse or any of the other facilities